Playing tricks on me. Out in the streets in the heat of the city. Here goes the night. Skies
Welcome to Music Memories slash Music Notes.
Music Notes, aka also Arknolia the Doctor. Me, Ark, and YR are here. It's a
For a
Thursday.
double header, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely there. Ark, what's it going, dude?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good here, and I myself, I'm feeling a lot better now since last night. I had a massive ass cold that I just, was able.
It's going around.
Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, I was after we got done with our show yesterday. I just had no choice but to lay down because I was feeling sick as fuck.
Well, we need to stop. We need to stop gun violence in order to stop the colds and flus and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah, true there. Oh yeah, stop the gun violence. And how about bands? How about telling these? I can't even go in there about all these shootings. I don't know why people feel the need to go pistol whipping for no damn fucking reason, man.
right.
It's
Well, they have their reasons, but it's their own.
yeah, but still, the idea is that using a gun to solve whichever problem that they feel the need to solve is just like, come on, like, geez, it would be nice for you to just talk it out, express yourself instead of go shooting everybody down. Like, give me a break, man, dude.
Especially people you don't know that had nothing to do with it.
Exactly, well, either way, of course, all the Democrats are going to be like, fucking hell, and be like, oh, take away the guns, blame it on the GOP, blame it on the NRA. Meanwhile, the Republicans are blaming the video games and concerts and music, rap music and all that shit. I was like, no, it's neither one of those things, people. It's the morons who grab these pistols, go shooting up the joints because they got some sort of angst inside of them that's been building up for God
people like
knows
you
ages.
with AR. Remember you threatened my life with AR?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what,
People
and
like you.
I was wrong.
No.
And I know, yeah, but you know what? I owed up to that.
No, you're
to
good.
that. I
Listen,
know.
we do have some quick rock news.
Yeah. And plus, someone had
well,
given
for
up.
one-
Go ahead there. My bad.
Is
Well,
Keith here
well,
today?
He does not want to be a part of the show. I
Oh,
asked
that's
him.
a bummer.
We don't force anyone to be a part or watch or
All right.
anything. So, but I did hear from those rumors about this Van Halen a tribute tour and all that.
Yeah,
blah
I
blah.
know,
blah. Well,
that's been going on for a long while, man.
Eddie Trunk had Michael Anthony on today for an
Nice.
interview, and he was basically saying he wouldn't be down for a tour. Definitely, he would be down for a one-off show, but he said as of now he wouldn't be down for a full tour. And I never really thought it was going to be a full tour. I think it's going to be a one-off show if they do anything. But anyways,
I see.
in the
there.
other news, real quick, if you want to look this up, Brown,
Yeah.
have y'all's opinion on this, but Beavis and Butthead movie is being confirmed. Real movie's coming out, Beavis and Butthead. It's pretty much confirmed, they're saying.
So it's going to be another movie because you remember Beavis and Butthead Do America came out years back there.
Yeah, MTV's seminal Gen X defining Beavis and Butthead are two guitar teenagers famously blah blah blah, which is Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, which is set to premiere on June 23rd on Paramount Plus. The movie will also be available to stream internationally in all territories where the service is available. In addition to the new movie, the full library of over 200 remastered Beavis and Butthead episodes will stream exclusively on the service, along with a new series coming later this year. So this is coming this month for this movie, Paramount Plus, which that's a good. I got rid of Peacock. I got rid of Netflix. But I do have Paramount Plus. They do have all the Jersey Shore episodes, and I do believe they do have all the Frasers as well. Let me check right now. But Paramount Plus, it's a pretty good one. Pretty good
Now,
one.
if they
Also
bring back the Beavis and Butthead series, are they going to watch music videos on YouTube? Because MTV doesn't play music videos no more. They haven't played in since God knows how long.
I don't know. We're gonna see. I guess.
I'm thinking about that. Them thinking about that's something to consider there because in the past he would show clips of video music videos, comment on them, talk all that smack about this guy, this girl there, and then boom, But now
Yep,
MTV
all
is all
the
about either Catfish or The Hills or OC, all those reality shows that.
well, I like Jersey Shore. I always like Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate. If you love all you drama lovers out there, I mean, you talk about drama. That Jersey Shore show.
No, so, yeah,
The
that's true.
first
There.
couple seasons are good, but then when it's like the last season, it's when they all get married. It gets kind of lame. But
Yeah.
first couple seasons, like 1, 2, even when they went to Miami, even when they went to Italy,
All right.
it was very entertaining. But Beavis and Butthead's coming out June 23rd movie. It'd be
This
interesting
year?
to see.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and here in about 3 weeks.
And this is as I mentioned, this is their second full-length movie since they had one years back there. I think forgot about what year it was. It may have been 2004, 97, 98 or something like that. It had what's his name? Robert Stack in the movie, Demi Moore in the movie as well there, doing the voice acting there. Maybe they could get Mark Hamill to do a character in this one here.
We're just supposed to be in space. 1996 is when that movie came out.
I see there, yeah. Okay, I wanted to do a vlog on this one here. Now, everybody knows now Johnny Depp has emerged victorious in his defamation suit against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. That's how Tommy and
Heard.
Zeke. No, well,
Heard.
but we call her.
Heard.
But now, I call her that now because that's what her career is going to be riding in. Because this woman, obviously, no doubt, married him to enhance her career, tried to use him for the boost her so-called career, and then tried to destroy him. And now she got her just desserts. Johnny Depp, according to the NBCNews.com, won his defamation case against ex-wife Amber Heard this past Wednesday, and the jury awarded him $15 million in damages. Depp was awarded $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages in this defamation suit. The jury also
Punitive.
thanks.
No, punitive.
Punitive. Okay, there. The jury also awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages. Depp had sued Heard for $15 million after she wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post in which she declared herself a public figure representing domestic abuse. And countersued Depp for about $100 million there. Now, the internet is going crazy over this, as you can see here. The hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp has been all over the place. People on Facebook, Twitter, probably on Instagram as well. I know there's a YouTuber named Chloe Roma who resides in Canada. She has Chloe Roma's Men's Rights Army because she feels that a lot of men's rights have been denied in favor of women throughout the years. She's still going happy ape shit over this, because... I mean, let's face it, Heard did not really show any signs of any domestic abuse when you think about it there. In fact, you remember that the photo from TMZ about Rihanna after she got beat up by her then boyfriend, Chris Brown, the singer? See how horrible that looked? That's real proof right there. And we also cannot forget the photos of Nicole Brown Simpson with the bruise marks all over her face, which, by the way, her ex-husband, OJ, asshole that he is, he said that was all makeup because she would not sign a prenup. Give us a break. Who you trying to fool, bro? Give us a... Come on, dude. You ain't fooling nobody. Either way, the best proper word to call Amber Heard now is Amber Hearst, as Tommy and C 2010 called her on that one time on the Farmhouse Network. Because, as I mentioned, her career is going to be riding in a hearse. She's done. The roles, the spots that she had in the second Aquaman movie that's supposed to be come out have been restricted. Some parts of her have been removed. and people were calling her to be removed from the cast of that movie in the beginning there because she didn't really provide, as I mentioned, any real proof. She just wanted to use Depp for her own career, for her own purposes. And you may remember I did a vlog on her about a month or two ago, asking, that was she a victim of abuse herself growing up? Because she certainly has the traits of an abused child. Because as we all know, kids who were abused in their childhood grow up to be adults and they would tend to repeat the same things that were done to them. It's happened so many times before. And let's also not forget, she was arrested in 2009 for beating up her girlfriend. So the best thing to do for Amber Heard right now is to seek some professional help and figure out what the fuck is wrong with me, because she certainly needs that. And that's all I'm going to say. So anybody who was hashtagging justice for Johnny Depp, they're jumping for joy right now. All right. Okay. Enough of that stuff there. Had to get that out of the way. Like I said, I was going to make a vlog last night, but I was way too sick, man, to do so, let alone go grocery shopping, let alone ride a bike in the midnight hour. But here we are. We're doing music notes once again. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at some bands and artists that we feel should have really made it big, but sadly did not for some obscure reason. I don't know if their appeal didn't appeal to everyone or what it was, but we have a long list of artists that we feel should have made it big a long time ago, man. And
the record executives decided to hold them back for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly there. Because a lot of record executives, feel like, we need to concentrate on the bands that's making money here. We need to concentrate on the groups that's bringing in revenue. We need to concentrate on the bands that provides us our vacation within Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. Yeah. That's what they care about. Concentrate on the big things. Concentrate on the big stuff. Never mind this little band over here. Never mind this group over there. It's just it's the big wigs that matter.
Right. We want to go ahead and do this round robin like we did the other
let's
stuff?
do that. Yeah, let's do that, man. Let's definitely do that. All right. Okay, so who goes first? So you, Ark, then YR, then me, I guess.
Well, I don't really have a list. I'll go along with yours. I have a couple people, but go ahead, guys.
I do have.
Let's start with Earl.
Okay, there. All right, that's somebody there. First band on my list was one of the originators, what's kind of like the originators of the hair metal scene, the glam rock scene, They had a cult audience. They were a major influence on the Guns N' Roses and many other bands there, Motley Crue. In fact, you remember their drummer died when Motley Crue singer Vince Neil, crashed his car on New Year's Eve. They were both high as fuck. They went out to get more drugs. And I guess for how many years, their singer had a resentment towards Neil for doing that. I remember we did a show on them with Prince What's-His-Face there, many months back there. But this man should have really been a lot more accepted, a lot more, embraced. Hanoi Rocks. That's my first pick there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They had an interesting sound. I don't understand why,
I know, though. Some people just tend to ignore the other things and, like I said, concentrate on the big things there.
My first one is going to be a group that was pretty big in the UK and a lot of Europe. And they did real well over there, but they didn't get a whisper in the US. And that's The Nice.
Keith Emerson's old group.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that group kind of in a way spawned Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, it is. After The Nice broke up.
That group was big overseas. Nothing in America. Nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, they did a great version of America, the Leonard Bernstein song,
All right.
uh, Symphony, because that's kind of the thing. In fact, they were kind of a precursor to symphonic rock,
Yeah, that's true there. Yeah.
because a lot of their stuff was based on Bach, Beethoven,
Yeah.
on and on.
I guess it's safe to say that Emerson, Lake and Palmer got considered the first, supergroup when you think about it. There, next to Blind Faith, which featured
Yeah,
Eric Clapton. Yeah,
because Lake came from
King Crimson.
King Crimson, and Carl Palmer came from Atomic Rooster.
Yeah, and he was also the drummer for the Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
Yeah,
And we all know how much success ALP had throughout the years.
yeah. It's a shame people just never really got to hear Nice, because they were innovative as heck.
Yeah, that's true there. Very true. Okay, so YR, you
Well,
are next, dude.
if you had somebody, do you?
No, I'm just listening to y'all.
All right.
Going along here.
All right.
Well, interject if you hear something you want to know more about.
Yes.
So I guess it's back to you, Dr. Earl.
Okay. This band here, I did a review of their first album on my channel there. It was an album called Burns Like a Star. Great songs on that album. I remember the video for the first single and first track, Break Down the Wall. The singer would later go on to front Kingdom Come a couple years later. Lenny Wolf is his name. Now, I haven't heard anything from the second record, but this first record, was definitely a great album to listen to. When I listen to it now, it's like, damn, this is pretty good stuff. I don't know why I missed out on this back then. Stone Fury, featuring Lenny Wolf on vocals there. I know there's a couple of compilations, out featuring the best of Stone Fury. I remember seeing those. And I guess that album has now been reissued on a couple of indie labels there. If they were to find it on vinyl, then I'll definitely pick it up there, because it is a damn good record. Stone Fury is my second pick.
Okay, my next one is another group that's big in England and Europe and all over that area, but didn't do boo in the States. And that is the group called The Move.
Yeah, featuring members of guys who would later join ELO, Jeff Lynne and Bev Bevan, and Roy Wood.
Yeah, because actually what they did was, when they decided to disband Move, Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne and Bev Bevan decided, let's form a group that's symphonic in nature.
Yeah.
And I got another symphony band. But The Move had some great stuff,
Yeah.
very innovative, and they were a huge success in Britain. But for some reason, the U.S. never picked up on them.
Yeah. Which is sad, because I remember their version of Do Ya, which was originally recorded before the ELO version there.
Yeah, it's a stronger version, I think.
It is, yeah. I heard that myself. Of course, Ace Frehley of Kiss released his version, but it wasn't that much up to par, unfortunately, there. Sorry, Ace.
Yeah, but they actually had a lot of pretty good songs. Message from the Country, they had one of the first really heavy songs, something called Brontosaurus, which Cheap Trick covered later.
I see there.
And, they did other little songs like I Can Hear the Grass Grow, Message from the Country. Off the top of I'm doing this off the top of my head. I didn't write any of this down, so.
Neither have I.
But that's my next one.
All right, there. Okay, my next one is a bass player. I spoke about this before on our bass players list many weeks back. Bill Laswell. He's done a lot of work, lots of projects, multiple dub ambient projects there, here and there. He's worked with almost everybody there, including John Lydon of Public Image Limited. He also was a part of, I guess, a thrash jazz trio, which was him, Mick Harris was scoring on drums, and John Zorn on saxophone. The project is called Painkiller, and not related to the Judas Priest song there, but I remember having a CD of theirs called Execution Ground, which was a pretty good list stuff to listen to there. Now, Laswell has, as one of his albums, Invisible Design, which I highly promoted on our bass player series there. Phenomenal bass playing on this album here. Phenomenal. You know, when people talk about who's your, would you consider Flea for the Chili Peppers a great bass player? I'm like, well, what about Bill Laswell, Lemmy, and Cliff Burton?
And about 100 other people.
Exactly. That Jaco Pasturis, if I'm correct, I have trouble pronouncing last names. Forgive me, folks. I mean, they're all considered, great bass players. Billy Sheehan as well there. But Bill Laswell is next on my list of artists who should really been a lot more embraced.
Well, my next one is also English in nature, and they were big in England and Europe and such. And they actually had one hit single in America, a song called Pictures of Matchstick Men. Status Quo.
I've heard of
They
that.
They've released like 30 albums or something like that are big over in Europe and the UK and such. But the US is kind of like, who? Oh, Pictures of Matchstick Men. Yeah.
And also
They
Rockin' All
did-
Over the World. That's one of their big UK anthems there.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff that did really well. And yet over here, nothing.
I know. Okay, my next pick is also another band for the UK. We know them from their album Desolation Boulevard. That's one of the big albums that people bring up when they bring up this band here. Sweet. Now, they released other albums, but I don't think any of them gained as much recognition as Desolation Boulevard did. Other than this,
Every once in a while, a song would just kind of creep out, but
yeah.
by and large, nothing.
Other than Ballroom Brits, Fox on the Run, or maybe the other songs like Little Willie, and of course, Love Is Like Oxen, Blockbuster there. Those songs often do get mentioned a couple of times there, but the other albums that they should have released, should have got a lot more recognition.
Yeah. There's one they did called Give Us a Wink that has a song there called Action. That's just, holy cow.
Yeah. And I guess, Andy Scott, is the only, the only original member of the Sweet that's left right now there. Because remember, as I talked about him, it was not one of the good shows that I saw him back in '93 at the Ritz in Roseville.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, my next one I touched on just a second ago. Atomic Rooster.
Yeah.
They were big in Europe and the UK and such, and they were pretty phenomenal, but over here, nothing.
Wow.
The only time you hear about them is when somebody will say, oh, yeah, the group Carl Palmer came from. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the only thing they ever talk about. We got to discuss that sometime later on this show. How come many other bands overseas don't make it big over here?
Well, a lot of it has to do with, I think, record executives prejudice that we didn't discover them. So it's like they don't want to fool with them.
Yeah, that's maybe so. Plus, you got to remember, as I mentioned, record executives are too busy concentrating on what they have over here.
Right.
Like, for instance, if Whitney Houston was still alive, they'll be trying to concentrating on her, other than this singer from Germany who probably sings better than Whitney Houston. That's how it looks to me there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, the next one on my list was a band that would feature a well-respected individual within the industrial rock world. Now, keep in mind, this band had a small minor hit with a song called Heartbreak Boulevard. A couple years later, they released an industrial metal album titled Violent New Breed. They gave a great ass performance at the Ritz in Roseville in '93. There, I saw it. And I was like, wow, this is a phenomenal band. There, I love the sound. I love the songs. And sadly, I think that was their last run around. I guess they decided to call it quits. And then their bass player and singer, Tim Scold, would later hook up with the project Ogre, featuring Nevek Ogre of Skinny Puppy, KMFDM, Marilyn Manson for a while. You may look for the song by KMFDM titled Anarchy. This guy, Tim Scold, sings lead vocal on. That was a big club hit back in the day there, around 97, 98. Tim Scold. No, it's considered a legend now, but not maybe people bring up his old band, Shotgun Messiah.
Yeah. The next one people have probably heard of, but they never got the push they so richly deserved.
Yeah.
And that's Humble Pie.
Yeah, that's right. The only know them by a few songs like 30 Days in a Hole, Don't Need No Doctor.
And that was a group Peter Frampton came from.
That's true there. We only know people only know those two songs. Of course, you can't forget the song Fool for a Pretty Face. They came out in 1980 when they reformed.
Yeah, and actually, the album Rocking the Fillmore was probably one of the best live albums of that time.
Yeah, that's true.
Easily.
Yeah. I know.
Real hard and heavy, and it had both Marriott and Frampton on it.
All right. Yeah, Steve Marriott, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
And a lot of people used to call him one of the best rock singers ever.
That's true there. I think Marriott was a member of the Small Faces, I think it was.
I think he was for a while.
Yeah, because I remember there was this clip that I saw of him performing with the Small Faces. It's still sort of a jolly, British song there, So I got to look for that up there sometime soon there for some reason.
Well, basically, the Small Faces got their name from the fact that all of them were short guys.
I see there, yeah. And of course,
Because Marriott's a short guy.
Yeah. And then, of course, as you know, the Small Faces would later become the Faces, and we would get Rod Stewart as their new frontman.
Yep.
And we also know what happened to Rod Stewart after that. He would become global success.
And the Faces come real close to being one of those groups that didn't get a lot of recognition here, although they did have a few songs that hit.
Yeah, like say, Don't Say You Love Me, or Stay With Me.
Itchy Coo Park.
Yeah, it's true there, yeah.
Lazy Sunday.
Yep. And many others there. So,
yeah.
So definitely Humble Pie and Small Faces there. They both deserve good recognition. Okay. The next one on my list hails from Canada. She released this one album back in 1990 called Magnet to Steel, with the E at the end there. I remember seeing her perform at the Ritz in Roseville on a Sunday evening. Not much people there, of course, being Sunday, what do you expect?
Right.
Chrissy Steele. I bought the cassette of her album, and I loved it. It's a pretty good, damn good songs on it. So I would play that album a lot of times when I was cruising around either the Sterling Heights, the Troy area. I would do that. I did that a lot, believe it or not. I would find certain albums that would play in the summertime, play those when I would cruise out to whichever area I felt like cruising to. I'm one of those explorer type of guys when it comes to driving. Would explore this area, would explore this spot here. And Chrissy Steele's Magnet to Steel was one of those records that I should have, it's one of those albums that I used to listen to a lot. when it was doing that sort of thing there. So Christy Steele definitely deserves a nod on our list here.
Yeah. Now, my next group is considered a prog group, and they're actually pretty good. I don't know for sure what country they're from, but they have a phenomenal female singer, and the group is Renaissance.
Yeah.
They did several really good albums. A song worth hearing, a song of Sherazade, and Mother Russia.
Oh, wow. Not
Those are both really good.
All
And I
right.
wished I could remember the female singer's name, but she is great.
Right. The name of the band again? I just stepped away for a second there. What's the name?
Renaissance.
I was thinking the same. You know what? I was thinking the same thing because I remember hearing that band's name a couple times. There was a USA Network show called USA's Hotspots where they would just show bands, performing at clubs and such, spotlighting new bands, spotlighting this band there. They had Renaissance as one of their features. They had a band called Witness as their other feature there. And this next one group here that deserves a big mention, that should have made it big, hails from Detroit, Madam X, featuring Maxine and Roxy Petrucci. Maxine is the guitar player. Roxy is the drummer. Now, Roxy will later go on to drum for the band Vixen, years on down the line. I guess Madam X are back together. They got a couple records out there, doing shows here and there. And one of their big songs from their only album that they released on a major label, You're High in High School. That was one of the first songs that was played on the radio when that record first came out. All right, so Madam X deserves a big mention here.
How about Queensryche? You want to give a nod to them? You think they were big enough, or?
Well, actually, they should have been bigger than they were.
Exactly. They were big around the 88. Actually, they were kind of big. I mean, they had a lot of songs that were played on the radio, like "Take Hold of the Flame," "Queen of the Right," other songs like "Operation Mindcrime." Look how successful that album became. Empire was a massive, big album there. Look how massively Silent Lucidity, Jet City Woman, the title cut for that album. Look how big that album got. The problem was when the alternative scene started in the 1990s, they were kind of like got pushed to the side in favor of the new stuff that was coming out.
Because that's what the record executives wanted everybody to get into.
Yes. Not realizing that the bands out there have children, they have wives, car payments, house payments to do. But you know how the executives are, like, out with the old, in with the new.
Next group I'm going to do is fairly recent. I think they were around mostly in the 90s. They broke up. The leader went on and did some solo stuff. And then they got back together recently. It's a group by the name of Porcupine Tree.
Ah. Yeah, but I know
they released some phenomenal stuff, but you never hear it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you had to go to YouTube to see listen to their stuff there, unfortunately, these days there.
Yeah, because you'll never hear it on the radio.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, that radio is a whole different story, especially today's radio. Feel should have made it big there. Seduce.
There?
Seduce, yes. The band Seduce, they were amazing heavy metal power trio for the Detroit area there. Mark Andrews, David Black, Chuck Burns. They released only 2 albums. One local called just simply Seduce on Psychomania Records. That spawned the songs Viper's Bite, Love to Hate, Chopping Block, Headbangers Rule, The Mirror, Madcap, all those great songs. The second record was released on IRS Records in '88, and that'll be it. Sadly, that album should have got more coverage than it was. They were even featured in the Global West, the decline of Western Civilization Part 2. Seduce were even had a little feature in that movie there. And I feel that they should have gotten a lot more recognition, a lot more attention by the press. So Seduce are definitely next on my list of groups that should have made it big.
Okay. My next one is a group that has released a ton of albums, an absolute ton of albums. But if you name them, not many people have heard of them. It's a group by the name of Fate's Warning.
I've heard about that band. A friend of mine named Lori used to tell me about that group a lot of times.
They were a very heavy type band. I don't know what their music generally is, but they were a very heavy type band.
All right. Okay. The next on my list was a band that I heard only one time, and I was like, "Wow, this should be heavy, man." It's a group called Saint Vitus, and they were released in a couple albums on the SST label, which was ran by Greg Ginn, the guitar player for the band Black Flag. Saint Vitus is described as a heavier version of Black Sabbath. Now, the band broke up years ago there, but they released a few albums there. And apparently, Ventus had kind of, they kind of like got blamed for Black Flag toning their stuff down. Apparently, according to the guitar player, Black Flag in 1984 released an album titled My War. And a lot of people saying that, that album was toned way down to the stuff that Flag had done before. While people were praising how My War was an awesome record to listen to, however, St. Vitus were being called the band that ruined Black Flag.
Wow.
Yeah. And Black Flag was one of the hardest hardcore punk bands out of the LA area. That's where Henry Rollins got his start in. Which, by the way, I'll definitely reserve Black Flag after you're done there, Ark.
Okay. Next one, actually people have heard of, but they think they only did one song. And that's a group by the name of Iron Butterfly.
Oh, yeah, we know that. And we know that song like the back of our hand.
Everybody knows that song. But
Absolutely.
how many other songs can people name?
I had the cassette copy of that album, and there's other songs like Most Anything You Want on that album, which is pretty good there.
Yeah. And their third album, something called Ball, has some phenomenal songs on it. But you never hear about them because people, and it got a DeVita.
Yep.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
done.
true there. That's the only thing they know there, unfortunately, there. Sad. Now, my next is a band I just mentioned, Black Flag. Hardcore punk band from the LA area featuring Henry Rollins. They released albums like Damage, My War, In My Head. They should have made it more big there, but they had their cult audience. And unlike other punk bands that went after other bands, they basically went after bands that basically, they didn't really go after other bands. I mean, like Rollins cited Ted Nugent and Black Sabbath as his main influences there, so he didn't want to dog them. But he did say they'd rather go after politics and everything else there, what people are thinking, what people presuming and stuff like that. They basically was going for, the idiot across the street there who thought it was okay to beat his wife.
Right.
Black Flag, sadly disbanded in 1987 there. Rollins would later put together Rollins Band. They would have a hit song called Liar back in around 94 '95, I believe. That was played a lot on radio, on the alternative radio. Of course, Rollins also been known to do spoken word performances as well there, in which I've heard a few times and pretty downright entertaining. So definitely Black Flag.
Okay, my next one's a solo artist that never really hit in a way I kind of think he should have. The guy by the name of Sean Phillips.
I heard of him as well there. I remember we discussed him, and I remember when my neighbors had an 8-track of one of his albums there.
I mean, he was a kind of a folk rock, I guess you'd call him. But I never understood why he didn't hit real big, because he had some phenomenal songs. Salty Tears, Bright White.
Mm-hmm.
Just some songs they're memorable, but I guess only the people that have heard them.
I know. Now, the next one on my list is, of course, another Detroit band there. Loud House. Loud House emerged from the ashes of Murder City. Apparently, the singer left Murder City. I guess he was described as a total diva, an arrogant little asshole. So he either got departed or got fired. They got this singer named Kenny Mugwump that was different, that kind of stood out to all the rest. He would come up with a little bit of theatrics now and then. He had a vocal effect on his vocals there, make it sound like an echo. It's a sort of echo effect there. They got a different drummer as well. And they kind of changed their sound a little bit there, played some good stuff there. Murder City would later decide to change their name to Loud House. They get signed by Virgin Records, released it For Crying Out Loud in 1991. Their cover of Smoke on the Water was featured in the movie Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves. But sadly, that was their only record. But then again, think of this. When Kenny Mugwump left the group there, this gave the idea of the rest of the band to put together Sponge. And look how big Sponge would make it a couple years later.
Yeah, sometimes when a group breaks up, they're even bigger after the breakup than they were before.
Yeah.
What about the Firm? Groups like the Firm and Coverdale
Page? Yeah, that's
Coverdale Page, stuff like that.
Yeah, Coverdale Page was a damn good project there. They had some good songs there. The Firm kind of. There were a lot of. They could have done a lot better songwriting, a lot better arrangement on the first record there. I mean, a lot of things are going to be touched up there. Because I wasn't really exactly a fan of the first Firm album there. But that project was basically supposed to be a one-time thing only there. But they decided to do one more album, one more tour, and that was it, So, I guess YR has a good point there. The Firm should have, get a lot more mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Ark, go ahead.
Okay, Sanford Townsend Band.
Ah, yeah, remember that. Remember them. Maybe you spoke about that song that he had.
Well, they did a song called Smoke from a Distant Fire.
Yeah, I remember that,
which
yes.
was actually pretty big.
Yeah.
But that was it.
I know, it's a one-hit wonder there.
Three others that were really good, but, Smoke from a Distant Fire is the only one that did anything.
I know. That was they still play that a lot. I remember hearing that a lot of times at the grocery store I worked at back in Richmond, Michigan in the early 2000s there. Yeah. So definitely that group deserves a big nod there from us.
Yeah.
Okay there. Let's see. I'm going to go for some artists that should have made a big there. Here's one. Now, I mentioned this album Cashmere Dreams. It came out in 1988. I discovered it accidentally at the Record Time store. I listened to it. Great album to listen to in the summertime when you're cruising or bike riding here and there. I would bike ride when I was living in Richmond, Michigan. I would bike ride, listen to this album all the way from Richmond to St. Clair, long distance, by the way, there. And what can I say? It still is a heart tugger to this very day when you look at it there. A lot of good songs, a lot of good arrangements there. Album featured a couple members of Toto doing the backup there. One song called written by Lou Reed. The artist, Fernando Saunders. You should admit it, big because he's a damn good bass player, a damn good singer, and a damn good songwriter. So, there la la.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. My next one is the Tarney Spencer Band.
I think I heard of that as well there, yeah.
They had a song that was played some. See, off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of it. But
That's how obscure they were.
Yeah. But then again, when you got hundreds of thousands of songs that you've heard, it's hard to remember names of all of them.
Yeah, it's true there.
Oh, No Time to Lose.
Ah,
Just had to give it a little thought.
all right there, yeah. It usually comes back at the last minute there.
Yeah.
All right there. Okay, this next one, I don't know if they ever made it big and big originally, but we know their songs like Baby Please Don't Go, Journey to the Center of the Mind, Ted Nugent, and the Amboy Dukes.
Yeah, they had a bunch of good ones.
That's true there. And it would take only Ted Nugent as a solo artist to really gain recognition. But he did still do, his version of Baby Please Don't Go a couple of times on concert there. I know his version is on the Double Live Gonzo release back in '76 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay, my next one was a group that had one song that I know that was released, but I don't think they had anything else that was even remotely close. And that was a band called Diesel.
Ah.
And this is a song called Sausalito Summer Night.
I remember there was an artist named Johnny Diesel and the Ejectors that played the Ritz one time there. And then later on, I guess Johnny Diesel changed his name to just Diesel. And I thought, was this a group that you're talking about here?
Yeah, it was a group.
Okay, there you go. I kind of knew, but I wanted to make sure there. All right.
Yeah, I think they were around in the 70s.
I see there. Ah, I get it now. Now, this next artist here, I felt should have really made it. He came up with some damn good stuff there. His first album, Earlicked, was released in 1972. It was in 3 movements. The last one was totally backwards, believe it or not. The story is that when they completed the song there, the tapes got delivered to the record plant for mixing, and it came out tails out, from what I understand. Now, when this artist got the test pressing of his album, he listened to it. He called the record company and said, "Hey, the last track, the whole track that takes up all of side 2, it's backwards. But leave it like that because it actually sounds better." And this guy's considered one of the pioneers of the electronic music realm out of Germany there. He was an ex-member of Tangerine Dream at one point. Klaus Schultz. He released other albums like Cyborg, Black Dance, Dune, a soundtrack to a movie called Body Love. He worked with Lisa Gerrard from Let Dead Can Dance on a couple of pieces there. He also did something with what's that guy's name? Peter Namlook, who was an electronic musician in his own right. Rest in peace. He died in 2017 there. So Klaus Schultz gets a nod right here.
Okay. Next group I'm going to mention is a group by the name of Flash.
Flash. Ah. Yeah, I remember
They
you
had
mentioned
some-
that. Yeah.
They had some what you'd call risque type covers from their
Yeah, I
albums.
remember. Yeah, you showed me one of those, man. I know. See what you're talking about there.
And their big song was something called Small Beginnings, but it didn't get much play.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a good song.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Here's another group that I felt should have made it big that came out of the Detroit area. Art in America. And that was different about this band is that they had a female member who played the harp.
Hmm.
Yes, not many bands have a harp in their lineup there. They had a song and a video for the song titled Art in America. And they released one album on a major label, and that was it. That was about it.
Okay, you possibly heard of the next group. Bebop Deluxe.
Ah, I remember that. That was the band that featured, what's his face there? Who later joined Ian Dury and the Blockheads, I think it was.
Yeah, I can't think of his name off the top
Neither
of my
can I.
head.
It's been a long time, man.
And they also had a risque album cover.
Oh, yeah. I remember the one you're talking about. That girl holding that guitar on flames inside of a glass, or it was a steel or a clear plastic, case there.
And she was buck naked.
Yeah, that's true there, except for high heels.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there. Okay, the next on my list I have to be. I don't know if people. I would say definitely this. I was going to say Mersbo. But then again, it would be very hard for the people here in the States to get into a Japanese noise artist.
Yeah, for some reason, it's just the way it is.
I understand, but then again, you got to remember, it's just like, because some of their albums, like Scumtron, Rainbow Electronics, were favorites of mine. But then again, my taste, is a lot more different than everybody else's there.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I've always been accused of that myself.
yeah, it's true there. The problem is, my taste is a lot more obscure.
Yeah, well, some of mine is obviously some of the groups I've named.
Yeah, sure there, yeah.
Okay, my next one is a group by the name of UK.
Featured John Wetton, rest in peace, from King Crimson, and one-time member of Uriah Heep.
Yeah, that band should have been bigger than they were because they were kind of a semi-super band.
Yeah, true, yeah. Eddie Jobson on violin and keyboards.
Yeah.
All right. The next one on my list. Let's see. I had it in my head for a while ago, and I got distracted for some dumb reason there. Oh, there we go. This next one on my list is considered one of the pioneers of a genre of music that I've also been a fan of for a long while. You look at my my playlist, one of my playlists on my channel there, you see what I'm talking about. He is considered the pioneer of dark ambient. Now, dark ambient is where it's ambient music, but leans towards the dark side. He started this project in 1980, released many albums, Purifying Fire, Carbon Core, The Place Where the Black Stars Hang, which is what got me hooked, Rising, Dark Matter, which consists of all recordings from outer space on that album there. Look up the NASA Voyager recordings there. You see what I'm talking about there. He released the soundtrack to a movie called First Reformed that starred Ethan Hawke in 2017. He did a project with an artist named Karen Park titled Alter. That's out right now. And 3 of his albums that I spoke of before, The Dark Places of the Earth, and Beyond, have been the focus of an album, of a remix album titled The Others. Feature remixes from various artists, including Godflesh is one of them there. A couple other bands have done remixes from 3 of those albums there. He's also released a lot of live albums as well. He's also a certified sound designer for various movies. He did work on, and also did work for various video games. Evolve is one of them. He also helped did some sound work and soundtrack work for The Crow, one of the Underworld movies. He's a pretty busy guy. Brian Williams, a.k.a. Lustmord, is the next one on my list.
Okay. Let's see. My next one, I think I'm going to go with UFO.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Trunk's favorite. And the band that really gave Michael Schenker his name in rock and roll.
Yeah, but you really don't hear him much on the States.
Yeah, exactly. The only one we hear on you occasionally hear is the song Doctor Doctor.
Yeah.
And which Iron Maiden with Blaze Bayley on vocals did a cover of. It's one of their B-sides there. All right. Now, the next one on my list had a trilogy of albums that kind of like was it's like a 3-part storyline. The first was Children of the Sun. I don't know the name of the second one there. And the third one was 20th Century Man, Billy Thorpe.
Yeah, Children of the Sun got some play, but not a lot.
I remember hearing it on radio back in 1979 when that album came out.
But that was another good one.
Absolutely there. Billy Thorpe should have gotten a lot more recognition, that's for sure there.
Next group had a couple of hits here, but nothing big. And most of their stuff was overseas. And that's Slade.
Oh, my goodness. These are the guys that originally did Come On Feel the Noise years before Quiet Riot got a hold of it.
Yeah. And it's a superior version.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I remember got into Slade because of that. I would pick up albums like Nobody's Fools,
Right.
Slade in Flame, which was the soundtrack to a movie, I understand.
Yeah, they did Goodbye to Jane.
That's a great song. The album was Sladed. Of course, we cannot
Right.
forget, Mama We're All Crazy Now, which again, Quiet
Right.
Riot covered on their second record there.
Yeah. I personally like the Slade versions, but that's me.
Yeah, sure there. They had this one awesome record out that came out on a major label in 1984 called Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply. That was a badass of an album there. Definitely
Yeah.
highly recommend it. All right. Next one on my list, let's see here. This one artist, band. I'm trying to think of one right now there. Let's see here. I ran down so many there. Oh my goodness. This just came to my mind. I saw this band perform at the Ritz in Roseville on a Sunday evening. Their songs blew me away. They had an album out titled Master Control, Ledge Lord. They should have made it big a long time ago, man. I don't know why they were not more accepted.
Yeah. Okay, my next one's another prog band that's well known in prog circles, but you really don't hear nothing of them anywhere else. It's a group by the name of Camel.
Camel. I think I have. I've heard of Camel a couple times in the past there, yeah.
It's a lot of instrumentals. One that particularly comes to mind off the top of my head is a song called Lunar Sea.
Mm. Luna
You know,
Sea,
Lunar
yeah.
Sea.
Yep, absolutely.
Lunacy.
I got the, you know what? That was also a title of a Firefall album, and you would think that came out in
Yeah,
1976 or 77 there.
that's true.
Yeah.
But they do about a 9-minute instrumental of that song that's really enjoyable.
And speaking of Firefall, I think they're on next on my list. I should have made it big as well there because they did come out with some good songs, like Someday Soon, Wrong Side of Town, and also one of their only big hits, Strange Way.
Yeah,
Look it up, everyone, to see and hear that song. There's a couple of their songs there. Really interesting top subjects, especially with Strange Way. You know, like you do all you can for this woman here, but yet she rejects it and rather stay in the dark side.
okay, my next one is a band that was really continually on the verge, but things would happen like their lead singer would get busted and spend some time in jail, whatever. But at any rate, they did some pretty good stuff and some pretty good albums. It's a group by the name of Quicksilver Messenger Service.
I remember you mentioned him, gave praise to him a couple of times on this program. So what did this guy do, the singer who kept going to jail? Was he an addict, a troublemaker,
Drugs.
or what? Ah, I see there.
Yeah.
Well, is he still alive, or did he pass away from
As
drugs?
far as I know, but I don't know that.
Oh,
But they did some good stuff. They did a song called Fresh Air that was close to being their biggest hit, I suppose. And they did an album called Happy Trails that side one was a long, extended version of Who Do You Love,
I see there.
which is the old song by
Bo
lots of
Diddley.
people.
Bo
Yeah,
Diddley, I
lots
think
of
it was.
people.
Yep. I remember George
And
Thorogood's version of that song, which is still like one of my favorites.
yeah, and side two started with a song called Mona, which you've heard. It's another cover,
Uh-huh.
but it's a great version of that song.
I see there. It's kind of funny when you mentioned about the singer keep going to jail. It kind of remind me of the band Skid Row, because one of the guitar players said he would have spent lots of money keeping their singer Sebastian Bach out of jail there, because he was always getting himself in trouble.
I don't know what the deal is with these guys.
I don't know. Some people feel the. Here's the thing. Some people feel the need to live the rebel rock star life 24/7.
Yeah,
You know, I guess yeah, and they forget. All of a sudden, they forget how to be regular people, and when they start becoming regular people, they can't cope.
yeah,
Okay. Now, the next one on my list was actually a project more than a band. It was a concept story about involving a guy traveling through a machine to rescue a girl. A lot of different songs touching on whether it's paranormal, vampirism, other stuff like it's really a whacked out story. I remember hearing the whole story there. But it featured Glenn Hughes on vocals, Mel Gowrie for trapeze on one of the guitars, Cozy Powell on drums on a couple of tracks there. Phenomena is the name of the project. I had the self-titled first album that came out in 1985. Phenomenal album. Should have got more recognition.
yeah.
Yeah. it also had a song in that album titled Phoenix Rising, which talked about human combustion. So definitely phenomenal. Glenn Hughes is phenomenal. Definitely there.
Okay, the next one for me, yeah, a case could be made that they weren't totally unheard of, but they only had really two songs that people heard that remembered them. And that was a group by the name of Canned Heat.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, we know the two
They
songs like "Going Up the Country" and
on the road again.
"On the Road Again." It's true there. And I still can't help but think about the singer who sang on "Going Up the Country." How much he sounds like Kermit the Frog. You know,
Yeah, true.
that's
He
always
wasn't really their lead singer. He just did a few songs here and there.
Yep.
Their lead singer was a guy by the name of Bob the Bear Height.
Yeah, I know, because he was a big guy there.
Yeah, he was huge.
Yeah, big, about the same size as Peter Grant, the Led Zeppelin manager.
Yeah, but they did a lot of good stuff. They did mostly blues type songs,
Yep.
but it's a good listen.
All right. The next on my list had one big hit in 1979. The song was called "Hey St. Peter." Their project and the album came out the same year, 79 of course, and it actually featured two ex-members of the Easy Beats, Henry Fonda and George Young, who would later go on to produce some of the early AC/DC albums. George Young is related to Angus and Malcolm Young, as we all know. Flash and the Pan.
Ah,
Very different stuff than what they did with the Easy Beats there, but "Hey St. Peter" is a very good song, definitely worth listening to.
and actually, now that you mention them, I'll bring them up as my next one. Is the Easy Beats.
Yep,
They
Friday
had
on my
one hit
mind.
in America and nothing else, and they had a lot of stuff over, I think, Australia.
Yeah, where they're from there. We all know
Right.
that song, "Friday on My Mind."
Big song, but nothing else.
Now, the next one on my list were kind of like first considered proteges of Motorhead, who we did a show on yesterday. They released an EP entitled with Motorhead titled "The St. Valentine's Day Massacre." There's songs they did. It was songs they did together was called "Please Don't Touch, I Shake So Much." Now, Kelly Johnson, one of the guitar players, they did have a fling. She did have a fling with Lemmy there for a short while there. In fact, when Lemmy was on a London TV show there, "This Is Your Life," what's one of those "This Is Your Life" kind of thing there. And Kelly Johnson came out there and sat right on Lemmy's lap there. Of course, the band I'm speaking of is Girl School. They had songs like "Hit and Run," "Race with the Devil," "Running Wild," bunch of other songs there. I think they're still together, but unfortunately with some different members because Kelly Johnson passed away years ago for some reason.
Well, actually, you mentioned them, and it brought another one to mind that I had forgotten about.
All right.
They're only famous now because of the people that were in the band that are doing other projects now, and that's the Runaways.
That's right, the Runaways. Don't forget, there was a movie on them. It started Dakota Fanning and Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, and nobody paid much attention to them until after the breakup, and then you got Lita Ford and
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett.
Yeah. Of course, we have Sherry Curley, who often sings occasionally now and then, but she's also a chainsaw artist, where she makes sculptures out of wood with a chainsaw. I know, that's surprising myself there. And of course, the Runaways being a big influence on all the female rock bands in the
Right.
80s and 90s there.
Yeah.
I guess you could say they were the original Riot Girls. They were massively big in Japan. We all know that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were underage as well there.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So definitely the Runaways deserve a lot of nod. Of course, they've been finally getting their nod thanks to the movie.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess that movie also proved was kind of. By the way, it kind of that movie also add to the myth about Joan Jett herself, possibly being bisexual,
Mm-hmm.
because there was a scene of her which her and Dakota Fanning's character Sherry Curry had a makeout session there, and I remember hearing from a friend of mine saying that he knew a woman who slept with Joan Jett. That was back in 1991.
Mm.
Wow. So now Joan Jett has yet to even reveal if she is or isn't there. She'd rather keep that under lock and key, but the speculation is still there.
Right.
But then again, when you keep things under lock and key, that does help provide ticket sales and album sales as well there. People love to
Right.
buy into the hype. All right. Okay, my next artist, let's see here. Let's see if I can find this one here. Oh yeah, let's see here. I'm just trying to look over the list here. Yeah, I'm I don't really have a list myself, as I mentioned there. I'm trying to remember other bands up there that should have made it big. You know what? Got to give this group a mention. I had one of their albums titled "Innocence Is No Excuse." Great album from then. Broken Heroes was the lead signal for that track. The other had songs like Denim and Leather, Princess of the Night, Saxon.
Yeah.
Definitely deserve a well-respected mention on this program there. Came out with some damn good jams, and sadly, I don't know if they were fully embraced by the people here in the States, except for that cult audience that they have here.
Yeah, a lot of these bands actually had cult audiences, but
Yeah,
never went much beyond that.
yeah.
Okay, the next one's actually a well-known group,
Mhm.
and they had a huge hit, and then they had a minor hit,
All right.
and that's Procol Harum.
Oh, yeah. That's true there. We all know the major hit from them.
Whiter Shade of Pale,
That's right.
and then Conquistador was a minor hit.
Yeah. Well, Salty
But beyond
Dog.
that, well, yeah, but it wasn't really a hit. But that was a great song.
Yeah. And of course, Gary Brooker, the singer and the composer of that song, Whiter Shade of Pale, would later do a song with Alan Parsons Project,
Yeah.
Limelight, from '85.
And of course, we know a guy by the name of Robin Trower got to start with this group.
That's good there. That's true. Yeah. And Robert Trower's still out there playing as well.
Yeah, I think he just released a new album recently.
I think so, yeah. But it's on one of these independent releases there that we don't have no access to because most of these indie labels have a hard time getting their stuff out there because of the lack of funding and stuff there.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, true. I like to check it out myself there. See how it sounds. Okay. I think this. I'm searching through I mentioned so many artists in the past there. You know what? Let's see here. I don't know if the MC5 qualifies as a band that should have really made it more big. Because we all know their first album, Kick Out the Jams, that was
Yeah.
recorded at the Grinding Ballroom back in Michigan. They released other albums like Back in the USA and a couple others there. But people, kick out the jams. And I feel they should have, got more deserved because they were like considered the proto-punk band along with the Stooges.
Yeah.
And I should probably throw in the Stooges just as well because they were like one of the most obscure bands out there. Of course, they had an obscure frontman, one being Iggy Pop,
Yep.
who you would look for on footage or on YouTube. You see him, being held high by the fans and him smearing himself with peanut butter. So definitely both the MC5 and the Stooges get a recognition from here. I think that's the end of my list there. Unless you have more
I
on.
was just going to say I probably have more, but I can't think of them.
True there, yeah.
What's
I'm
going to
done
be the
with-
next? What's going to be the next topic on?
That's a good question. We should probably discuss that right now because I was thinking about that earlier this afternoon.
All right.
Yeah.
Me too.
How about albums by an artist, successful artist that didn't make it but should have made it?
Well, and an offshoot of that is several big artists we ought to do. This is my favorite album, and I don't like this album.
All right,
You know,
that's
a best and a worst.
good idea. 'cause I
Oh, we
gotta
should do
feel-
that. Like a least favorite of
Absolute-
your favorites.
Okay,
And do it on big bands, not bands that had 2 or 3.
Right.
absolutely there, yes. Because there's a few
I mean,
out
obviously
there.
a lot would be hello. Obviously a lot. I mean, for me personally, would be a lot of these classic bands that came out with these new albums. You know, like Sonic Boom by Kiss. Wasn't
Yeah.
really a big fan. Like
Yeah.
newer albums of your classic band. That's a good topic. Wow.
Definitely got it. I agree. I definitely agree with this idea there. Definitely.
Yeah, it's one of us could name a group, and then we could say, okay, our favorite album is this, and I don't like this album.
All right there. Definitely. I'm on for that one there. And that'll be next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's next Wednesday. Yeah, but because I mentioned in the vlog that my time and my days off are different now. It's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays for the next time
Oh,
being
okay.
there. Yeah. So tomorrow I work straight on through to Tuesday there.
Wow.
And so they changed it up there. So there
Did you
go.
get a chance to listen to any more of those songs I have?
I did, yes, Sarah, definitely. I also sent you a little. I think I sent you a clip.
Oh, yeah, Rush doing Crossroads.
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, on the Gmail there. It's pretty interesting there.
Yeah.
I guess it was a salute to Cream there, one of the first power trios that to
Right.
emerge. Next to Blue Cheer, of course.
Yeah. They were among one of the first, I think.
Hmm.
I can't think of another one before them.
All right, who knows? Yeah, that's true there. All right,
It might have been trios, but no power ones.
That's true there. Well, definitely. I think probably we should close it off with Blue Cheer because they should have made it big as well there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know they did come back with they made a comeback titled The Beast is Back around 83, 84 there. But that was released on the indie label titled Ignima Records. And of course, Ignima Records, no longer has been out of business since the later 90s. For some dumb reason.
Dr. Brown, you taking
What?
Dr. Brown, you taking any shits today, Dr. Brown, or?
I did took a few last night, that's for sure. When I was, oh, dude. That was not fun when I went through last night. I just felt like weak as fuck. I couldn't even
What did you
get out of
eat?
it. It wasn't nothing I eat. It was something that was like a flu or something like I had. But I just felt horrible all day yesterday. Felt horrible, even worse after we got done with our show yesterday there. I said, fuck it, I'm going to lay down there and take a nap or something to see how I feel better. Then when we wake up, I feel like worse than before. So what we did is I decided, drink some water, drink some fluids, lay back, relax, see what's on my phone here and there, blah, blah, blah. Watch reruns of Cheaters. I'm addicted to that show there, by the way. I can't help it. I just love the excuses that these cheating assholes, men and women, always come up with especially the ones saying, "You're never there. You're always at work." I'm like, come on, bitch. How are we going to support your ass if we don't work? So, but I'm starting to feel a lot better now, except for the runny nose that I have right now. That's slowly getting better. So most likely I'll be right back and ready to work tomorrow. Yay! Right there. So I guess that's it for our episode. I guess concludes this episode, and definitely next Wednesday when we go back live, we'll take a look at artists from bands that, albums, certain albums from a band, a respected band that should have been more accepted. Definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we had talked about naming bands and then saying what our favorite album and our
Yeah.
album
Oh
we hate
yeah,
by
that's
them.
my bad.
Come on, Brown.
Yeah, my bad. I'm being
Well,
distracted.
we lost
right.
Brown for a minute there.
Oh, yes, my bad. All right. So I guess this concludes our episode, I guess, for today.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you as well, guys. All right.
Alrighty.
All right, so we'll see you again next Wednesday at
Wednesday.
Wednesday, that's right.
Wednesday.
That's right, people. Wednesday Adams. Okay? And we'll see you then for YR, for Arknolia, and myself. You guys enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right.